Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on how to build a data foundation for the age of AI. Now, before we jump into content, thanks a lot for choosing to spend your time here with me and to learn why data is essential for your AI success. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's dive right into the webinar. As you all noticed, AI is continuing to evolve and it integrates into various sectors, business applications, different use cases, and more companies are looking to leverage the power of AI in their daily flow of work. Now, we'll show a brief AI demo at the end of this webinar with a very small use case, as that is what a lot of companies are currently after at this point. But however, a good AI starts with very good data, and the foundation of any successful AI initiative lies in its underlying data strategy. So building a robust data foundation is essential not only for AI implementations, because that's most of the time the easy part, but also for achieving tangible and productive business outcomes. So this webinar will give you a better understanding of how you should prepare your data for the age of AI. It will show you how to build a solid data foundation for AI by, first of all, aligning your business strategy with your data strategy, by ensuring data maturity within your company, by prioritizing data governance, by harmonizing and unifying your data and securing it, and in the end, by turning it into actions with AI. Now, the latter, the AI, that turning your data into actions with AI, is the goal. And it's often the first thing that people go for. But without any preparation of the steps before, the results will most probably be quite funky. So most impactful AI solutions need at least attention to a few of the above preparation steps. If you fail to cover these, you will learn the true meaning of AI hallucinations. Let's start at the beginning. Aligning your data and business strategy. A big challenge in many organizations is the misalignment between data strategy on the one hand and the overall business goals on the other hand. Now, research from Salesforce shows that 41% of the business leaders today recognize only partial or no alignment between those two. And we're talking here about 41% of the business leaders that recognize it. So I'm pretty sure that a lot more percentage there is business leaders being completely unaware or in denial, which also still happens. So understanding the full potential and value that data and AI can deliver to the business starts by fully understanding what it is that the business is looking to achieve. Successful data strategies start with clear business goals. You need to engage both business and IT stakeholders to define and prioritize business objectives that could be diluted down to tangible data or AI use cases. And we have an example for that. Apologies, I'm a bit sick. So an example that everybody probably can relate with is business growth, revenue growth, I mean. A tangible use case for this business goal would be to proactively identify and target high-value customer segments with new cross and upsell opportunities, in the end then leading to increased sales and revenue, or at least that's the goal. There's also other business goals possible, like customer satisfaction, cost reduction, market expansion. I'm going to send you these slides afterwards. You can go through them. I'm going to focus on the first one, revenue growth, and obviously there's a multitude of other business goals, some more specific than these even for your own business. For every business goal and use case, you need to identify the right KPIs. And you need to do that to measure success, because you want to know whether you're achieving your goal or not. Working out this KPI forces you on what truly matters, and it also creates more transparency of the potential value the data and AI project is generating. Now, let's look back at our example. If the business goal was revenue growth, and the use case is to proactively identify and target high-value customer segments with new cross and upsell opportunities, then a great KPI would be the win rate percentage. This percentage is measuring the percentage of existing customers who are converting to won deals in cross and upsell opportunities. So you got your business goal clear, and we have a KPI. Now, whether you'll be able to achieve your business goal and implement your data and AI use cases will heavily depend on one thing, and that is the data maturity within your company. As said before, great AI starts with great data. A 2024 McKinsey study showed that 65% of organizations are regularly using Gen AI across the business. That's nearly double the percentage from the previous survey in 2023. So the adoption speed and the potential of the technology is incredibly high, but many organizations today are still struggling or still don't really know where to start when looking at growing towards an enterprise plan around AI. And you can probably already guess the main reason. Many companies today are limited by the existing IT infrastructure. They have fragmented data, they have disconnected tools, and it all creates data silos within the organization. It just takes them too far or far too much effort to turn raw data into actionable data. And at that moment, these companies can do three things. They can just forget about AI because it's a hype anyways. I don't think so. They can just throw some AI agents against parts of the as-is data environment and check the box of having an AI in the company, or they can invest in data maturity of the company and do it right. Governance, policies, security, compliance remain a big challenge too. Most of the time, indeed, a smaller AI POC needs to be set up first, because the dream goal that we diluted from that AI workshop cannot be reached yet because of data not being ready for it. So that is normal, as AI is a new and rising thing, and we never had to worry too much about a fine-tuned data strategy before. Companies knew that they should invest in it, but they just weren't penalized enough when they didn't. If you let loose, let's say, data analytics on a bit fuzzy data, well, you will get crazy outliers, but you can scratch them off. If you let loose AI on data that isn't clean, then you will immediately feel and read the consequences. It's far more impactful if you let AI loose on bad data. So successful leveraging data and AI, or for AI purposes, goes beyond implementing a new tool. If you want to successfully leverage AI and get business value from it as fast as possible, you need to accelerate your company's plan for data and AI maturity first. Once again, I'm not talking about the small, quick AI wins that every enterprise can achieve right away. For that, very often you don't need the complex structure before of prepping your data. I'm really talking about making AI an intrinsic part of your business processes. But what sits at the core of data and AI maturity? Well, there's three pillars. And these three pillars are strategy, activation, and technology. The first pillar, data and AI strategy, means actually that it ensures that data and AI are strategically aligned with the organizational goals across all levels, as we mentioned before, actually. Data is what fuels your AI engine. And as a result, the most critical steps to scaling data analytics and AI is to create a comprehensive, actionable data strategy that aligns with your organizational corporate priorities. And it ensures your data is trustworthy. This covers policies and processes on collecting, storing, and sharing data and insights. The second pillar is activation, data and AI activation. Every strategy is only as good as its execution. So the success of your data and AI strategy depends on your ability to execute upon it. That means you need to prepare your data so that it can become the data foundation for AI activation. Data and AI activation can take on different forms. It can reach from or range from data-driven decision making to forecasting to predictive analytics and AI agents in the end. Each of these forms of data and AI activation uses specific techniques and technologies tailored to the needs and strategic goals of your business. But again, the key to successful activation lies in the quality of the data, the alignment of AI applications with business objectives, and the organization's ability to integrate these technologies into their operational processes. The third and final pillar is technology. Technology is a driver for most of the above, obviously, and it is too important to ignore in your data and AI strategy, as you want to future-proof your stack and infrastructure as much as possible. Don't just go too light over technology and which technology to use, as organizations are transitioning from the larger, rigid on-premise stacks towards the cloud. They are gaining significant flexibility, but also a complexity is introduced. So that complexity can be costly. Integrating multiple apps and systems becomes challenging, and upgrading one solution may disrupt the others. So there's an abundance of AI-related software options, but it's important to choose one that covers your needs now, but also in the future. Technology, very important, obviously. How can we help you with that? Well, at Biztory, we call it the Biztory Blueprint, and we bundled these three pillars into a blueprint that can be viewed as an agile plan to reach your higher levels of data maturity. At its core, it is built from three tracks, the three tracks that we just mentioned, and there's the three tracks that originate from the pillars of data maturity, strategy, activation, and technology. Each track has its own set of subdomains that map the maturity journey of that specific pillar. So the more you move to the right side of this blueprint, the more or the higher the level of required or achieved data maturity is. That's where you want to go towards. Think of it as a blueprint, or think of the blueprint as a metro map. It is designed to help you move from A to B, and it helps you figure out what all the required stations are to get to your destination. And much like an actual metro map, you can enter and leave the data journey wherever you want. So this is just a very convenient tool to help you reach that data maturity level that you need to start with successful AI implementations. Now, one major aspect of data maturity is data quality. Improving data quality is crucial for reaching data maturity and successful AI implementations. So where do you start? Data quality and governance. There are three main concepts in getting data ready for interacting with it. In any ways, this might be for AI purposes, but also for analytics or just to feed data to another system in your company. Just need to make sure that the data is clean. We added some technology to make it more tangible, and if you look at, for example, data ingestion, you will see at the left side, it's the logo of Salesforce Data Cloud. At the right side, you will see in the data ingestion box, that's the Snowflake logo. And with data modeling, you will see Salesforce Data Cloud and dbt. Same with data mapping. If we go now deeper into data ingestion, what does that mean? It's quite straightforward. Data ingestion is just pulling data in from different applications, and that could be your CRM system, it could be your billing tool, your HR app, or your machine data collection, or whatever that is spitting out data within your company. You discuss and agree on which data is pulled in from which system and with which technology, and your focus is always the business goals that you strive to reach. Now, you've covered data ingestion, you got your data. The next crucial step is data modeling and mapping. This is where we take all of the raw data that we've ingested and we start shaping it into something AI ready. Without a solid data model, your AI will struggle to deliver meaningful insights. So let's briefly touch those different steps. We need to inventorize what data we have and where it is coming from. We need to assure that each field is accurate and mapped to standard or maybe even custom objects. We need, well, that's not always the case, but if needed, we need to extend the data model by adding custom attributes, and we need to establish the connections between the data objects. Now, I'm a business user and not a very patient one, to be quite fair, but the first time that I heard this rather technical mumbo jumbo, I thought this is complete over engineering. I just wanted my AI and I wanted it now. But I promise you, if you skip these steps, you will just be making, well, your AI actually, not you, your AI will just be making guesses on incomplete and messy data. And that's not what you want. Another important part is, or of data maturity, is harmonizing and unifying your data. We briefly touched it in the former steps, and a major aspect of preparing your data for AI is data unification. This means integrating various data sources, whether structured or unstructured, from various departments, systems, or external sources. The rationale is straightforward. Unified data provides a comprehensive, accurate, and up-to-date foundation that is essential for training robust AI models. And the average enterprise uses about 1,000 applications. Well, even more than 1,000 applications, creating complex data ecosystems and silos. And data silos occur naturally over time. They are just mirroring the organizational structures, but they prevent teams from making informed and timely decisions. And they prevent them from having full view on the business. This creates fragmented organizations, and bridging data silo gaps will be therefore crucial. So for businesses today, it's not just about how much data you have, but how effectively it is managed. And now the question is obviously, how do I remove my data silos? In other words, how do you harmonize and unify your data in a single source of truth? And the answer can be different. It can be different depending on your use case. It can be different on the current technology environment that you have. But the basic idea is that you'll need at least a great data lake or a data lakehouse to store your data in, and a cloud data platform like, for example, Snowflake or Salesforce Data Cloud to bring all of that data together in one place. Those are the solutions, by the way, that I'll be using as an example. It's both Salesforce Data Cloud and Snowflake. If you look at the picture, there's 3 blocks, and those are actually explaining what Data Cloud does. So the first thing to know with the connect and prepare part about Salesforce Data Cloud is that it is a completely open solution. Regardless of where your data comes from, is it internal software, is it marketing channels, is it external data lakes, emails, even PDFs, Salesforce Data Cloud can bring all the dots together. And it goes even further. We talked about data silos before. These are often created by copies of data. So how does that happen? A company has a data environment, data warehouse. Another department within the company also wants to do something with that data. Very often, a copy is made and sent towards that department. Same happens for data being used by external parties, vendors, or maybe customers. Very often, copies of data are created. That is not always that is never okay, because these sometimes outrageous numbers of copies of data, they are pushing the price of your data environment up, and also the effort and the time that you need to put into management of the environment. So that's something you want to tackle. And thanks to Salesforce Data Cloud, you can also integrate with other cloud providers like a BigQuery, Snowflake, Databricks, employing zero copy data integrations. And that is really powerful. There is no need to physically move or copy your data there. There is no more data duplication. It's just mirroring the data from another system. So that means in both directions that you can link Snowflake with Salesforce Data Cloud, And in this setup, you'll be able to use your Salesforce data to enrich your Snowflake data lake without copying the data. It's just reading the data through Data Cloud. Or the other way around, you can make Salesforce AI agent smarter by feeding it with Snowflake data. And in that Snowflake data might be ERP data or what have you in there, just to make sure that your Snowflake AI, your Salesforce AI agent becomes smarter. After you connected and prepared the data, you need to harmonize and unify it. Let's say we want to use it within the Salesforce environment, that data. As Data Cloud is built on Salesforce, you're able to leverage the ability of integrating all of your data into the standard Salesforce metadata model. And once your data is integrated into the model, you can access the data in all of the different business apps of the Salesforce Customer 360, like, for example, Marketing Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and what have you. Making your data ready to be activated for a wide range of business purposes. And then afterwards, you need to activate it, obviously. And with all of that activated or all of that fragmented, hard to use data scattered across the business now being unified and harmonized in Data Cloud, the next step is activation. That could mean building data-driven automations or just sharing analytical insights and therefore enabling data-driven decision-making, obviously. Or it could also mean what we are focusing on in this webinar, driving AI innovations projects in the organization. And that's the goal of this webinar. Then we go to the part where we really were looking at data and AI activation. So with a strong, secure data foundation, businesses can start to activate that data to leverage AI to transform data into actionable insights, driving better decision-making, obviously. Data activation ensures that all your unified data is securely integrated into your different business apps, like CRM system for sales, your marketing platform for marketing teams, etc. This allows your teams to effectively activate this data within workflows and applications that are directly engaging with customers, ultimately shaping, obviously, the customer experience. Now, this picture shows a very nice overview of what we discussed on the technologies, Data Cloud, Snowflake, and the Salesforce ecosystem. We got a very solid and mature data foundation on which we then ingest, model, and map the data from external resources, and in this case, that would be a Snowflake, through Data Cloud into the Salesforce ecosystem. And that's all in a very secure and governed environment, thanks to Data Cloud. Thereby, you're enriching the different Salesforce data cloud, not data clouds, the Salesforce clouds, which are then shown here, with extra insights that weren't available before within that platform. On this enriched data environment, we can now get better data insights through data analytics or set up AI agents with that combine, or AI agents that combine the enriched data in clever AI insights. And that's the end goal. Now, I've been quite firm on the level of preparation you need as a company to leverage AI opportunities, and that's correct when you're willing to strategically invest in AI within your company. But let's not scare you away yet from your first AI projects. So I'll show you through a very, very brief and limited demo how you can already reap the benefits of AI within your company through a few very simple steps. I used the Biztory blueprint to map a bit on what we're going to do. Maybe frame a bit which company we are. So this is a use case about a system integrator, and they support customers with integration of technology. And a part of that is Salesforce technology. So we, as that system integrator, we have a lot of PDFs. We have a whole library of PDFs with information on how to install different Salesforce software solutions. That's very interesting. A lot of these PDFs aren't publicly available. So This is something that our consultants use if they go to clients, and this is something that our service agents use when they get questions from clients on something. The problem is this is a huge bunch of PDFs, and you very often need to go through them one after the other to check and then Control F to find your answer. And this is a time-consuming thing. We want to automate that. We want to make that more simple. So what did we do here? Let's say our data strategy here for this specific point is we want easy access to the Salesforce setup answers. That's what we want. Our KPI is response time. The response time between we get a question and we can respond to that question with the correct answer on a question about Salesforce setup. Activation part. So the data that we're going to use is going to be PDFs. Those PDFs are manual uploaded technical articles. Now, here you already notice that this is a very, very easy and small business case. But if you start to think a bit further, these PDFs are updated over time. So if you want to go a bit broader, and I'm not going to do that here for the sake of time also, but if you want to go a bit broader on this one, you will need a structure, an approach, a process on making sure that there is no duplication of different PDFs covering the same thing. You don't want to base your answers on a PDF of 2021 because there's already one of 2024 with all of the new features and new approaches. If you leave all of those old PDFs in your system, in your data library, then your AI will make wrong decisions. It will just use all of the information it has, and it will just start to mix up stuff, also the things that are not really relevant anymore. So in the case that we are doing here in this very small use case, this is something we're not actually taking into account. We're only using one PDF, and we're just mentioning this is a static PDF. This is for an installation that is never going to change, which obviously is very untrue, most probably. The AI activation will be supported by an AI agent. Now, which technology are we going to use? Data ingestion and centralization we're going to do by the Salesforce Data Cloud, and the AI activation we're going to do by Salesforce Agent. Let me briefly show you what that means. So we're now in the Salesforce environment. Some of you might recognize it, others not. That's not really the problem. We're going to look for agent. There you go. We build a few. Slow. The one that we need is this one. Voila, indeed. So we build a very, well, it's actually Tim, one of our colleagues, that built that, so I'm not going to steal his thunder. But this is a small agent that actually is able to extract answers from PDFs. And what we did was, this is a small agent where you can then fill in the topics, the system messages. What do you do when the agent starts? What do you do when there's an error, and so forth. I'm going to open this in Builder just to show you what the agent looks like. And I'm going to dismiss this. This is what the agent looks like. So this is my AI agent. This is now in a UAT environment. It will therefore also be a bit slower. Salesforce makes sure if you are in your UAT environment, then everything you check there or test there goes a bit slower. I think it's because of, what's it called, energy. Well, they want to reduce the energy usage as much as possible. But this part is often integrated into a website. And I don't mean here the Salesforce environment, but just your own customer website. This could have been used by us internally or we could put it on our own website towards the customers. So what do we have here? I'm going to show you. We have Sales Einstein implementation guide, and I think I have that somewhere open also. Yeah, that's this one. So this is a PDF. I have it here in our Google Drive. This one is only, I think, 22 pages. We have many of those. I only plugged this one in. There's a lot of interesting information in there, but once again, yeah, you need to scroll through it. You need to look up stuff. This goes not fast enough. I don't want that. I want quick answers, and I want them, yeah, now. So how do I do that then? I'm just gonna ask. I'm one of those people that is very friendly with bots and thinks that it's cool to talk to them like this. Yo, botman, can you help me? I'm just doing this to show you what the reasoning is behind it, and all of that is shown here. So you, oh wait, here. So you see the reasoning behind it. You see that. Of course, I can help you. How do I assist you today? It notices this is small talk. And the first thing that bot wants is it wants to get rid of small talk, because this bot wasn't created for small talk. It just wants to get to the point. It wants to help me. It wants to give me answers. So I'm going to ask a question. Let's take that PDF again. Let's ask something about the forecasting. So how many opportunities do I need to enable Salesforce forecasting? There's a typo in it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. How many opportunities do I need to enable Salesforce forecasting? And what I actually want is that it shows me something in the line of this. You must work with Salesforce for at least 12 months. Specifically, the opportunity history must show at least update in each past 12 months. And that's exactly what it does. To enable Salesforce 4, you need to have worked with opportunities in, yeah. So this is already helping me to get fast answers out of a PDF that is way too elaborate. Well, it's good that it's elaborate because there's a lot of information that needs to be in it, but we can now very easily and very fast get the information out of that. Is this the AI solution that will revolutionize your business? No, obviously not. This is one of the AI solutions that you can flip on very easily, and something that I just want to show you, because the whole webinar is about how important it is to prepare your data correctly. Obviously, that's all very important from the moment that you really want to implement AI in the core of your company. If you start to do these smaller AI use cases, you can just go ahead and move a lot faster. But this is not going to revolutionize your business, obviously. If we now go back to the overview. So what did we do here? We aligned our data and business strategy, or at least we specified our business goal, and that was we needed quick answers on the technical PDFs that we have. Our business wanted that; they wanted it fast. The data and AI maturity blueprint and the data quality governance was a lot less in this case. From the moment that indeed, like I said, we needed to update the PDFs because there's going to be historical PDFs in there and they need to be kicked out. So there's only room for the most up-to-date PDFs. At that point, you're indeed going to have to invest a lot more in this. That's what we see with most customers also, that is going to happen. Data harmonization and centralization was done through Data Cloud, so we didn't have to worry about that. That's technology that dealt with that for us. And then you had the data and AI activation. That one we had pushed towards Salesforce agent. So that was covered by Salesforce agent. Now, we went through the different steps that you really need to cover to change your company or to make your company ready for good AI implementations. We showed you a very, very small use case on how AI can quickly support your company. Now, what are the next steps on your data journey that could be possible? There's 3 that we put here. If you go to the QR code, you'll find also a page with more information on that. But you have the AI Innovation Workshop. It's the one that I discussed at the moment that my screen just fell out. It's the workshop where we dive a bit deeper in AI and what can it do for your company, and that's together with business and IT. We have the Data Cloud and AI Quick Start. That's where we start to build a few smaller AI cases within your company. Very often that's based on this one, but it can also be that you already did your homework yourself, and then we start just on the building of the AI. And then we have the Data and AI Maturity Audit. This one is what we talked about with the blueprint. This one really goes deeper into what data do you have as a company, with which data would you be able to build a very, very nice AI solution, and how ready is your data for it. This is all about scoping how much work there is still on unifying and making your data ready for good AI purposes. Before we close, I would like to say, first of all, thank you for being in this webinar. This webinar was the first one of a series of different AI webinars that we're providing. So there's also this QR code that you can use. You can also find them all on our website, and that website can be found here, biztory.com. So if you want to hear anything more about AI, what it can do for your company, and what is really necessary to make sure that you reap all of the benefits of AI, then definitely I'll show it once again. Follow the different workshops and yeah, get some extra information. Thanks a lot. Have a very nice day. And if there's any more questions or remarks, please also go to biztory.com. We have an option there to connect to us, and the whole team is very happy to support you with all of your questions or remarks based on this webinar or based on any of the other webinars still to come. Have a nice day. Cheers.